Ladies and gentlemen, no capes, for this is a Fred the Alien Productions podcast.
Edna Mode would be absolutely disappointed in what's his face?
No, in his Norman Osborn.
Yes, him.
Yes,
Night
yes,
yes.
let's cue the music.
Cued the music. There it is.
I don't know what we're yelling about! We came, we saw, we kicked its ass!
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Kind of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway.
Look, we're gonna have company! Loud noises!
Hello.
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 I'm Kendall Richardson.
I'm a Fulya and
And I'm someone who disallows capes. Michael Lester.
And you are now experiencing a podcast called Fred.
Yes, experiencing it through the mediums of the interwebs that we have. We've got so much stuff. So much streaming stuff. Zencaster.
Zencaster. Yes, we're the pod that refuses to behave. We're back for another week and getting straight into the business.
Yes.
Fulya, what have you been watching now that MasterChef is over? Tell us what is consuming your watching life.
Well, let me tell you, Kendall. Now that I have my watch time back, this week I have been scrolling through my Crunchyroll. I've been watching some anime this week.
Oh.
I've binged through 2 shows in a week.
Wow.
And they're both short. They're both short seasons. So one of them was 2 seasons with 24 episodes. The other one only had 12 episodes. So very short series for both of them. But they're both rom-coms. And I was swooning so much.
Swooning.
Oh, the swoon.
What a swoon.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, the senpai?
Not really senpais, but okay. So the first anime that I want to mention is, and get a load of this title. It's an awesome title. The Saint's magic power is omnipotent. So this is a fantasy romance.
Yeah.
Yes. What they call a shoujo. So a bit of a slice of life kind of a thing. But it's swords and sorcery. Our main character is living her dream life in a magical kingdom. She gets summoned there from her regular world, modern world life that's been boring, and she's working in an office where she's always so stressed out. And she gets magically summoned into this fantasy world where she gets to make potions. But the reason why she's summoned to this fantasy world is because they were expecting, they summoned what they were hoping was the saint. Now, she wasn't the only one that got summoned from the real world. Someone else was also summoned along with her, and that someone else was supposedly supposed to be the saint. But whatever happened with this magical summons ended up bringing 2 of them down. And it ends up that Sei, who's the main character of this particular show, is the actual saint. And she ends up building up so much power, so much magical power from learning how to create potions that she ends up becoming the saint. But this kingdom doesn't want everybody to know about it, right? It's kind of like their little secret weapon, because they needed the saint to help dispel all of the like all this kind of like evil sort of demonic beings, spirits, whatever you want to call them. And she's there to kind of help them out, to sort of dispel them all. But at the same time, there was especially in the first episode, big battle happens. Unfortunately, a lot of people were wounded, and she managed to make such a powerful potion. Think of it as a potion in an RPG, and it's one of those ones that is like 50% healing potions, whereas the potion makers in this world were only making like 10-20% healing potions. So she managed to make something that was a lot more powerful, that heals a lot more. One particular soldier, who happens to also be a commander of a particular troop, was very heavily wounded, pretty much on the brink of dying. And she ends up giving him this particular potion when they return, and saves him. He love at first sight when he comes through.
It's like a Florence Nightingale thing, but with magic.
Yep, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
She wasn't expecting the whole love thing, but this particular night, this commander didn't mention anything about it, but all he wanted to do after the fact was go and thank her for saving his life. And then after a fact, now this particular commander is very, very handsome, very tall, very polite, gentlemanly, and he's also a blonde, which is usually like it's not a huge thing, but for me, I don't usually gravitate towards the blondes in anime, but for whatever reason, this guy, he's a bit of a hottie. So so yeah, as the episodes progress, they do their best to try and dispel all this evil. And we've got Sei, who's constantly working on her magic and getting better at it and getting stronger with her magic power, to the point where she is able to heal areas whenever she's out. So she goes out on the battles now to help them heal, to help dispel all of the evil magic, the demonic magic and stuff. But at the same time, there's a love story brewing. And yeah, absolutely loved it. It's a great show. 2 seasons, very short, 24 episodes. Really good, really good series. So definitely would recommend The Saints Magic. The Saints' magic power is omnipotent. The next anime I want to quickly mention is more of a real life, slice of life kind of an anime. It's a romance. It's a comedy romance. And this one is called A Sign of Affection. Now, this particular series is 1 season, 12 episodes. And it's about, the main character is about a girl who is deaf. So she cannot hear at all, right? And so she obviously uses sign language to be able to communicate with some of the people she knows. She went to a sign language school, a school for deaf people. But one day she's on the train, and a foreigner who happens to walk up to her is asking her for directions. And she can't hear anything. And this guy has no clue that she's deaf. And out of nowhere, I think there was another handsome man decides to help her out and interferes and says and helps this stranger out with directions to wherever they needed to go, because apparently this guy is very well traveled, and he's been living overseas, and he's come back to Japan. But he also doesn't know that she is deaf. So, but he helped her out anyway. So that was really nice of him. And so Yuki, which is the name of the main protagonist, I don't know, for whatever reason, the guy that she bumps into on this train, she's kind of like taken aback by him, right? And so he has also was very curious about her. He was curious about, I think after a little while, she mentions that she's like, she writes a message saying that she's deaf. And then he's like, oh, wow. And he's very intrigued by that because he loves to learn languages. But he's traveled so much, but he's never really understood. He never really understood the world of people who cannot like hear. And so he wanted to learn more about that. So he was very intrigued by Yuki. But through that, and they go to the same college. And through that, they kind of form a friendship. He wants to learn sign language. Gets to a point where they end up dating, and then they become, partners. And yeah, it's really sweet. This guy just wants to do whatever he can to make sure that he can communicate with her. If she's got some boundaries when it comes to dating because she hasn't really dated before, and so he's taking it slow with her and all that sort of stuff. So it's very much the rom-com and very swoon-worthy as well. Absolutely loved watching that. And I can't help it. I watched each of these shows in 2 days each. So over the course of 4 days, I watched 2 animes.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, I need to take a break now from getting I got swooned out. I need a break. So I finally got around to watching a movie that is Beetlejuice.
Hey, cool.
Yes, I watched the second iteration of the first movie, and I think it's just more a case of the fact that after going to the musical itself, I was like, I kind of want to go and watch the sequel now. So it was time. It was fun, but the story wasn't that great. The story kind of sucked. And there were certain parts in this movie that I kind of wish I feel like it was very rushed. Certain characters were not utilized very well. They could have done something different, or maybe not even use them at all. Certain plot points were not like, certain plot points didn't have like proper endings to them. And the end wedding sequence was a literal music video. A full song. Oh man, I like cheesy, especially when it comes to like comedy stuff like this, but that just was too much. That was too much. To the point where I was like, when is this gonna end? Yeah, I don't know how I felt about it.
Michael Keaton's good, I think.
Look, honestly, that's probably the one thing that I really enjoyed about this particular movie is the fact that Michael Keaton looked like he was having the time of his life. He looked like he was having so much fun. And I love the fact that he still has that gravelly voice.
Yeah.
He can still put on that Beetlejuice voice and, just keep going with it. And it's as if it was only yesterday when he did the first one. So that was really cool. And I really did enjoy the fact that they tried to keep the visual aspect of the movie similar to what it was back in the day, with the miniature toy model kind of a look. A lot of the what am I trying to say? Like special effects kind of stuff going on, like physical effects rather than using too much CG. Although, yeah, there were points where you could tell that some of it was CG. But Yeah, the story was just not well written, honestly. It just felt rushed, and I wasn't a fan.
That's fair. That's fair. It's
Yeah.
there's some uh the writing choices are a bit weird, and some of the twists you kind of see coming, and yeah, just I don't know. It was an interesting choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, we probably didn't need it to be made. But
No, not
here we
really.
are.
Yeah. Like the ghostly boy that what's her name? The daughter ends up meeting.
Yeah.
He literally did not have much to do in the movie. It was more of a, I need you to read this book so we can get into the netherworld, and
Yeah.
then I'm going to take your passport and bye-bye and kick you because I'm going to take your soul for mine so that I can be back to life and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then that kind of ended pretty abruptly as well. So I was like, okay. Well, why did we need that? Could have been done way differently. Like the fact that he was supposed, even though he wasn't the main antagonist of the movie, he was still portrayed as one. And
Yeah.
but his time in the movie just ended so quickly, and yeah, I don't know. and then Beetlejuice just wanted to have a musical number at the end for a wedding, and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, fair enough, but I'm just not like it could have been cut short, honestly. It just went way too long.
Nah,
Yeah.
need longer. Longer and longer, and
Of course you would say that.
and more killer babies.
That baby was the creepiest thing I've ever seen. Holy crap. Gnawing on the legs. Yeesh.
Climbing up the walls. Killing all the nurses.
Exorcist baby. No, thank you. Oh boy. But yeah, anyway, that's all I've been watching.
Nice. Excellent. Mike, what about you?
Hello. Yes,
Hello.
me. I have continued my watching of Critical Role, the campaign 2. Pretty much more than a quarter of the way through of the entire campaign, and I think I may be into where it may be second season of the cartoon if they reach that far, because now all this section is they're on a pirate ship. We're going to sea. And then it made me want to watch One Piece. So I've been watching One Piece as well. Because I love me pirates. I love me pirates. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm still on Alabasta. And we're up against Crocodile. Still up against Crocodile. Which would be the end of the third season of the live-action One Piece. Because they sort of did back-to-back sort of filming for that. So
Yeah.
that's going to be good. And I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
And I've worked out when I finish Critical Role, I'm going to go back into One Piece again. I'm going to do the most insane thing. I'm going to watch 5 episodes a day.
Wow.
Because basically it's watching a movie a day, and who doesn't do that? So. And
I mean,
because
true, I did binge through two like shows in 4 days.
So I worked out it'll take me less than 6 months to actually finish the entire One Piece thing if I do.
Oh,
that.
really? Like full caught up on 1,000 and whatever? How many?
200 and something, yeah. Close to 300. Yeah. So then I'll be a real fan then.
I mean, I did see you bring out a piece of merch before we started recording.
Well, I was going to wear it because it's cold, but the heater's on, so yeah.
You're more of a fan than I now.
Well, because I got a beanie.
Well, I have Zorro socks, but that's as far as I've gone.
Has it got holes in it? Constant holes.
Nah, it's got his earring icon. That's his icon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And 3 swords, which is very uncomfortable to wear shoes with. Yeah. That's it. Still watching. What's still on? Watching South Park, and that schedule's weird because they have 1 week on, 1 week off, which is annoying. It's been on for a month, and they've only released 3 episodes, so that's weird. That's going good. Watching that with my wife. Watching Always Sunny. The season's almost done, so the last episode should be coming out this week, where Frank becomes the Golden Bachelor. He's going on the Golden Bachelor. He's going to be the old guy looking for a wife. That's going to be fun. But what else I've been watching with my wife is Peacemaker is back. Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Yeah, because there's before the release of the previous me and the wife, we sat down and watched a little bit of Superman because that's on digital now, so we can watch a proper version of it that we've got that looks better. Just so she can be sort of up to date with what's going on in the DCU. And speaking of what's going on in the DCU. The DCU. Yeah.
Yep.
So the first episode of the second season of Peacemaker is out, and they've retconned a lot. Well, one particular thing.
Yes.
Instead of the Justice League, it's now the Justice Gang.
Mm.
And I was wondering how they're going to placate that. And it turns out it's like, just basically replace the Justice League with the Justice Gang, and then you're fine. And we're still in the same universe, which I
still
I'm
stand
glad
that I don't like Justice Gang. It just sounds so weird.
As soon as the big crossover happens, it's going to be the Justice League. And then we're going to have all the mainstays. We're going to have a Batman. We're going to have a Wonder Woman. Maybe Green Lantern. Well, the one that we've got so far. I think it's probably going to be Hal Jordan, maybe. Well, probably not. It's probably going to be John Stewart, but not the one that you're thinking of. The other one. Yeah, so first episode back. I'm glad it's back. And I'm actually quite happy of how they're going to handle multiverse stuff.
Yeah.
Because I was a bit worried. It's like, is it this Peacemaker going to go into the other multiverse, and then we're going to have combining of the stuff of what's happening? It's like, no. The Peacemaker that we see in the first season is part of the DCU. The only difference is the Justice League, Justice Gang thing. And Batmite's not canon, unfortunately, which I'm very sad at.
No.
Because long story, Fulya. I don't have the time. I do not have the time to talk about Batmite.
I will do my own Google search then.
Sure. He does turn up in. No, he doesn't turn up in the stuff that you're watching, but he does. He is a big player in the cartoons. Basically, he's an interdimensional imp being who is a big fan of Batman. Basically, a simp for Batman, and he's just a big fan. Sort of like a big fan. If you've seen Galaxy Quest, it's a bit like that.
Yeah.
It's like, I've seen all your shows and everything. Yeah, so Peacemaker, I really enjoyed on what they're dealing with that. And I'm glad that I watched it at a time where the kids weren't in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so that's going to be our Friday afternoons of watching Peacemaker. And I hands off to John Cena. He made me cry.
Yeah.
Just the way that Chris was dealing with sort of confronting something that he will never have, and
Yes.
and just yeah, and I'm not going to blame him because in the trailer, spoilers, he wants to stay in this universe, and I don't really blame him. So that's going to be the biggest conflict that he's going to have, is having a life that he feels happy, but that it's not his real life. So I'm going to enjoy it, and apparently the first 3 episodes are big spoilers of what's going to happen, and that's why James Gunn decided not to give release presses. Like sometimes the press get the episodes, so everyone's going in blind. It's like, good. I'm good to be surprised. Very good. So that's basically what I've been watching. What have you been watching, Kendall, that you can add to what I've been saying?
It's been a good week of watching for me. I'm everything I watched this week I've really enjoyed, and I'll start with Peacemaker just to segue off of you. Really great beginning to the season. I'm sad that there's no more Wigwam Do You Want to Taste It in the opening credits, but I'm not surprised that they changed the song, because obviously there's new choreography going on, and there's new characters that are in the show, so they've got to redo the whole dance thing and take it up a notch, and it's it's still good, it's still fun. It's just not as funny as it was in season 1.
It's still an interpretive dance of what's going to happen in the season. And
yeah.
Bit scared of what happens in the final thing.
Yeah, yes, me too.
But what happens in the first episode, it could be they all die, or it's a massive orgy.
Yeah. Either way, it's gonna be a pile of bodies somewhere.
Horrendous.
Horrendous.
It could mean good or bad.
But no, it's really great. I'm really liking it. I think the trailers didn't I think I like the show more than I like the trailers for the show, if that makes sense, because I wasn't really sure how the multiverse thing was going to play out, and two different versions of him and all this stuff, and just the trailers didn't really do it for me in terms of selling the story. But the story is great, and I'm like you, Mike. I'm in for it. I'm here for it. John Cena is excellent. It's really cool to see him stretch his acting chops a bit and not just be comedy. I love his comedy. He's so funny, but it's really cool to know and see that he's actually got some gravitas to him in his performance, and can make you cry, So, yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I like that they hid that stuff about, certain people in the show from the trailers. I'm really glad they did that, because this is cool, and okay, yeah, it's going to be an interesting journey, I think, but it's a really good pilot, so I'm really looking forward to where they're going to take it. I was though hilariously sitting on my bed watching it and just listening to effectively James Gunn diss 30 Seconds to Mars repeatedly, and I was like,
oh yeah, my wife said, "Ooh, I wonder how Kendall's going to handle that."
Well, on one hand, I think it's hilarious because it also means that they're showing that it's a separate universe where Jared Leto isn't the Joker, he's a rock star. So that's kind of funny, but then it's also really just dissing the band. That one of my favorite bands. Although I will say, in James Gunn's defense, they are not as good as they used to be. So I'm very much on the fence with his inclusion of a diss. to 30 Seconds to Mars. So I'm on the fence.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Because I will mention that James Gunn actually does not like Jared Leto at all.
Really? I feel like a lot of people. I feel like I'm in the minority as time goes on. I feel like I'm one of the only people left that likes Jared Leto.
Oh yeah,
but I do like him less than I used to, if that makes sense. You know, I went from being obsessed with him 10, 15 years ago to now I'm just like, yeah, I used to like him.
yeah.
You know,
if I had a nickel every time you like controversial singers,
hey,
I'd have 2 nickels.
You'd have 2 nickels, and
I mean, it's not a lot, but it's amazing that there's 2 of them.
Yeah, I wish you didn't have any nickels. Fuck's sake. Anyway, trust me to pick musicians that are problematic, but you know, one of them isn't problematic, okay? So it's fine.
Excuse me. Which one? I'm confused.
We're not going into it.
No.
Yes. Anyway,
just learn to let go. I did for Neil Gaiman. Anyway.
Michael Jackson's innocent. All right, moving on to the next bit of my weekly watchings.
According to law.
Oh, Mike, don't push me. I will go into a rant on the pod and derail this thing. Don't push me. Okay. Anyway, never mentioning music again. So my next thing I'm going to talk about, just to bring things down, because now I feel like ranting. I watched the first half of Wednesday season 2.
That's what I forgot to say.
Yes, that's okay. You can talk about it in a second. Yeah, I can see why they've split it up into 2 parts, because it really does feel like it's going to be 2 separate stories, because this story kind of, they wrapped up who's behind everything and whatnot, but you know, also sort of leaving breadcrumbs for stuff going forward as to, you know, what the rest of the season's going to be, and they play you a trailer at the end of episode 4 to be like, this season on Wednesday and blah blah blah. So, but yeah, it's cool to be back in the world. I'm still like not the biggest fan of this show, but I don't know. I like it. I like what Jenna Ortega's doing with the character. I just think she's a great performer. And I really enjoy watching her portrayal. I like how they found a way to incorporate the Addams family as a whole more in season 2, because they weren't in season 1 as much. So that's cool. In that sense, and I like the conflict that's kind of there between Wednesday and Morticia as well, that they're setting up. And that's fun. Steve Buscemi is just great. And cringy as fucking hell, but great. So I'm enjoying that, and yeah, it's just cool. It's like, I don't love it, but it's fun to watch, and it's aesthetically really pleasing, and there's some good performances in there. So the writing is just, I don't know. I just feel like the writing could be better, but that's me.
Yeah,
that's me.
Made me feel like it was like treading water.
Yeah, it felt like they were really, like, because that was the other thing about getting to the end of the like solving who's behind everything, you know, doing the Scooby-Doo mask reveal essentially at the end of during episode 4. I'm just kind of like, oh, they've wrapped this up really quickly. Oh, okay. And it just feels like they have spread, you know, too thin a bit of, you know, butter across a very large slice of bread, and it's just, yeah. So I don't know how it's like, I feel like they're trying to just get through on vibes alone a little bit. But yeah, but it's okay. I like it, and although I will say I don't like what they're doing with why am I forgetting her name? Her roommate, her best friend, I forgot. It's not Edie, is it? It's something close to that.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She's great. I like her a lot, but I don't like what they're doing with her this season. And like the whole first season, not to spoil it, but like the whole first season is about, you know, the 2 of them, you know, becoming friends, like becoming best friends. And like she even says, like, you know, she's basically Wednesday is her ride or die. But then like Wednesday just kind of goes back to just sort of being Wednesday, and which makes sense because that's her character. But then at the same time, it feels like she's pushing her away, pushing her friend away. So I'm just like, it's killing me. I don't know her name, but anyway.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, trying to find stuff to do with her. I mean, in a way, she sort of peaked at the end because she became full wolf. So.
Yeah, she had her thing because like they remind you that her character arc is like she's an outcast, but she hasn't come into her power yet, so she feels out of place, right? So then that's her whole journey is.
And
Enid.
And what's her conflict this time? Boys. Just boys.
Yeah, I don't like that they've reduced her to that. No.
And I'm not sure about Wednesday's sort of thing because she's sort of gone back because they've sort of nerfed her with her abilities. So
yeah,
and that's a conflict in itself. I don't
Like I'm more interested in what they're doing with Bianca, who's the siren, and whatever's happening with her mum. Like there's some kind of cult in this world, and her mum's escaped a cult. Like, okay, this is interesting. I like her character. I think she's cool.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we'll see what the rest of Wednesday season 2 has to offer in a couple of weeks when the rest of it drops. Yes.
Yeah. Probably my favorite dynamic is probably the Wednesday Morticia and Nanny sort of triangle relationship, and having that, and Joanna Lumley is just
I know.
awesome.
She's great. Joanna Lumley is grandmama. Awesome. Like, she's a gajillionaire and she runs like a chain of cemeteries and mortuaries.
Yeah.
Like, perfect.
I should be more annoyed of what they're doing to to Gomez, but I'm not.
Yeah, it's interesting what they've been doing with Gomez.
He's the stupid dad. He doesn't know what's happening. But
yeah.
Which he isn't that though. But I do like he's sort of trailing along and singing in the shower and being oblivious.
Yeah.
I like those sort of characters, but it's definitely a character choice that I do not agree with, but it's enjoyable. It's weird because
yeah, I kind of agree with you. Yeah. I was really happy that we got Fester back. Fred Armisen return as Uncle Fester.
Such a highlight, that episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just a whole episode of Fester.
Yeah, brilliant. I would like more of him, and just fucking Dreamweaver with the lunch lady with the teeth and the asylum. It's just awesome. Yeah.
Louise. Whatever. Turn the light off.
Yeah. I'll still kiss her. It's fine. Yeah. Really good. So there's still a lot to love within it. It's just a bit, I don't know. It's not 100% there. I think so far probably season 1's better. Yeah, it kind of just feels like maybe they only ever intended to make one season, and then it was so popular that they've gone, well, I guess we better make some more because it's making us money, and Stranger Things is ending soon, so we need a new flagship show.
And the Duffer Brothers are fucking over to Paramount.
Yeah. See you, bye.
Jesus.
Done. Unbelievable. All right, I've got a couple more things I want to talk about, so I'll just try and zip through them. The next thing I want to mention, absolutely loving this, Alien Earth.
I've only seen the first episode.
Love it. I think it's great. I'm up to date. I've seen the first 3, and it's so cool. And just so you've seen the first episode, so you saw the dinner party scene.
Yes. And
Amazing.
I knew I need to watch this during the day because I love it, but they filmed it like a 70s movie, and I was nodding off, unfortunately, because I'm a tired man at 9 o'clock in them.
Well, yeah, it is a little bit of a slow burn because they are definitely going for that, sort of 70s vibe in terms of the way it's being filmed
being within the scene.
Yeah.
and everything being played out. Not
Yeah. But it's great. I like the way they're expanding the lore of the world, and the fact that there's different types of life forms, like there's cyborgs, there's synthetics, there's androids, all this stuff. Like there's just, and then there's different corporations that are kind of ruling everything. It's not just Wayland Yutani causing mischief, it's everybody else. And yeah, and then yeah, so there's a lot of really interesting themes going on with it, and just seeing the xenomorph in this context, and the fact that they've gotten a guy back in a suit to do this, to be a xenomorph, is just fucking terrifying and brilliant at the same time. Because it's just so, I love being scared by this thing. Like, it's just terrifying, but I just love it. I don't know. Like, there was that scene where like they have to, they had to jump across from one side to the other, and then there's just this black void above. And then, like, that there's something coming, and it's just fantastic. So yeah, the visual effects are pretty cool, and the world building's fun, and I'm really curious to see where it's going, especially because they've got, they've introduced all these other little alien creatures and stuff. Those blood slugs are gonna haunt my dreams, I think.
oh, fucking space ticks.
Yeah.
Fuck that noise.
Yeah, that was not cool, man. Not cool. But fantastic. Like, I was just like, oh my god.
I haven't been that freaked out. Have you seen Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell?
I have not.
Well, there's something similar to that.
Oh.
He's singing, and there's like a mosquito hits his neck and starts sucking his blood, and it starts filling up like a balloon, and then he's all passed out, and he falls down, and it just an explode of blood.
Oh my god. Isn't that a kid's movie? A family movie?
Yeah, and that.
in the same way Jurassic Park is, I guess.
Oh yeah. I mean, Will Ferrell does do an unaudible "fuck you" to someone. If that's being
great.
child friendly.
Yeah, that's okay. That's pretty funny. Yes, but anyway, Alien Earth, loving it. I think it's great so far. I'm very hyped for where it's gonna go after this. And the last thing I will mention I watched is appropriate because it will lead into the nerdy news, and that is Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Yeah. Yes, me and my partner, we both, because it had been on my list, I mentioned only a couple weeks ago, after Fulya mentioned that she watched it. I was like, it's been on my list forever. And certain things happened this week that meant, let's watch it now. So, yeah, beautiful. I think I have it's in probably my top 3 Aussie films now. I think easily. Like, I loved it. Every scene was great. The 3, I want another movie with the 3 of them. Like, I mean, I don't think you can top this movie, but like, I wanted to stay in the world with them.
Same.
I wanted to go on another adventure, so I really loved it, and it's like so beautifully done. Like, it's not offensive to queer people, to transgender, to gay people. It's not at all. I think it's just it's so delicately done, well, like, respectfully done, and to see a film being made and released 30 years ago about this stuff, and about drag queens and everything, and them traveling through country Australia and having to deal with all of the homophobia and the complete lack of understanding of people can be different. So yeah, I kudos to them for making that movie when they did, and just I don't want to get, I'm gonna get emotional, but Terrence Stamp broke my heart in this movie in the
100%.
in the best fucking way. I've been thinking about his performance all week.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm emotional. But I will say I loved Hugo Weaving, and I loved Guy Pearce as well. Like, they were just perfect. Perfect. Guy Pearce cracked me the hell up. I was just like, this is the same Guy Pearce I've been seeing in like so many different, roles over the years, and here he is playing a gay man to perfection.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unbelievable. Like, he was great, and Hugo was just beautiful and natural as well.
The
in role, and
costumes,
the
man.
costuming was the fact that they're on the road and they're just like, oh, we'll just set up the giant shoe on top of the bus and just do whatever, get the pyrotechnics going and the flags and every. Oh man, it was
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. The costuming, the colors, the music was so good. Just Bill Hunter as well. The late Bill Hunter was also really sweet in this movie, and I feel like if the movie was done today, they probably would have been a bit more explicit with the relationship that was forming between Bernadette and his character. But because I guess it's 1994, they're like, maybe we'll just imply.
Yes.
We're just going to heavily imply that they get together.
Yes, the 90s will imply a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we won't actually say it out loud, but that's fine. I can understand and appreciate that. And I thought their connection was beautiful. And I
100%.
hated his mail order bride wife. That was, whew,
that bitch.
the fucking ping pong balls, man.
Oh, that broke me. I just thought to myself, what the hell? That was not part of the musical. I'm just going to say that right now.
Yeah, I'd be worried if it was.
No. In certain clubs.
Yes,
If
that is a legit
perform
thing.
They perform it, they're probably like a burlesque show version of Priscilla. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes. But anyway, I love the movie. Yeah, and I'm sorry I didn't watch it sooner. I should have watched it years ago, to be honest.
Honestly, same.
But yeah, I'm so glad I did, because it was beautiful and funny and moving, and it hit all the right beats. So I'm 100%. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yay!
All right. Let's move on, shall we, from the weekly watchings and get straight in to the nerdy news.
This is the news in nerdy news. The nerds that talk about the nerdy news. That is us who talk about the news that is nerdy. And now the queen of nerdydom, the hostess with mostess, Kendall Richardson. Take it away, Kendall.
Yes. Okay. Now I'm gonna get sad. Because, of course, at the top of the show here, the nerdy news, we have to pay our respects to the incredible performer and man that was Terrence Stamp, who sadly passed away this week at the age 87. What a beautiful and big life he led. I didn't know this about Terrence. This week I found out that he actually was Oscar nominated in his debut film performance. Which is just amazing and wonderful. I've lost what the movie was. It was I've got it here.
Spycatcher?
No, Billy Budd.
Oh, Billy Budd. Okay.
Billy Budd. Yeah, 1962. He also won a Golden Globe for that performance, I think, or he was, or at least nominated for that performance as well, and like for best newcomer. So he really made his presence known immediately. And then, of course, us here on the pod definitely know him as the great General Zod, the first live-action incarnation of one of Superman's nemesis. Having just rewatched Superman 1 and 2 from 78 and 81 not too long ago, he's fresh in my mind. Great performance, fantastic performance from him. His delivery on every single line of dialogue is just so genuine and so real, and just his voice, like, two things for me with Terrence Stamp stick out is just his voice and his face. Like he both so very striking, and I think he plays villains probably the best, apart from, as I just discussed, the lovely Bernadette. Um, it was really nice to see him in a completely different kind of a role in this movie, and to take on the character of a transgender woman and drag queen is like that would have been a really big career move for him back then, to do that, and he just took Bernadette into his heart clearly and gave everything. He was nominated for a Golden Globe and a BAFTA for that performance. It's gone on to be one of his most known performances in his career. A lot of people were referencing Priscilla in their tributes to him this week. And then hilariously, I also know him from Bowfinger, which is the Steve Martin, Eddie Murphy comedy where he plays the leader of Mindhead, which is like this Scientology ripoff sort of company that get Eddie Murphy's character in and try and brainwash him sort of thing, and just so they can get his money and his fame so they can perpetuate their bullshit, and he plays the head of that. Then of course he was also in Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace. He was Chancellor Valorum. Didn't last very long in that movie. We don't really know what happened to him after he was dethroned by Palpatine, but yeah, he was memorable in that as well. So yeah, lots of incredible roles. Very sad to see that he's left us, but 87 is definitely a good age and a good life, I would say, and yeah, he's immortalized forever, and yeah, we'll miss him, but very glad that we had him. So, Fulya, please, do you have any thoughts on the passing of the legendary Terrence Stamp?
Yeah, look, when I found out about it through the Discord servers that I am a part of, I was very shocked and very saddened to hear of his passing. And especially considering the fact that I had only also recently watched Priscilla as well. And yeah, the fact that he's also been in the movies that you pretty much mentioned and the ones that I've also seen. Star Wars Episode 1, Priscilla. He's also been in, what was the other one? The Haunted Mansion. He played Ramsley from the 2003 Haunted Mansion. And he was also, what else was it? He was also in Halo 3. So he did the voice in the game Halo 3, which is really cool. He then also, and I didn't know this, he played Jor-El in the Smallville series, or at least the voice of Jor-El, for 23 episodes. So he was in that show for quite a bit. I feel like I need to go back at some point and actually find time to watch Smallville, because when it originally did air, I did sort of watch like a few episodes of the first season, but then for whatever reason I didn't continue with it, so I never got around to going back to it. So I'm thinking about going back and actually watching it from start to finish. But yeah, just such a lineup of amazing roles that Terrence has had in the past, and he was just very talented, and he will definitely be missed.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike.
Yeah.
How are you feeling at the loss of the great Terrence Stamp?
A bit saddened, yeah. Of course, Priscilla is just, one of the top 5 of Australian films of all time. And yeah, definitely within the Star Wars and the Superman franchise mythos, he'll definitely be a part of it forever. But I will mention one movie that I actually quite like him in as well is Get Smart.
Oh yeah.
the 2008 Steve Carell movie, and just having he played the bad guy Siegfried, so they needed someone who could do comedy but be sinister at the same time, and yeah, he's a good fit for it, and I do recommend that. Being a movie that's one of those movies that is made because you know the TV show all the way back then, and I did like Get Smart. Like every time it came on, it was yeah. Like Fulya has the MASH. I had the Get Smart because I'm a big fan of Mel Brooks and all that. And yeah, I was actually quite impressed at this particular movie adaptation of the TV show, because Steve Carell just sort of fit Maxwell to a T.
Yeah.
And the late Don Adams, like he is Maxwell. He is in Inspector Gadget, but Steve Carell definitely made it his own. And having a look at the pictures, it's like, wow, there's a very slimmed down, but with hair, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
It's like, wow, there was a movie where he was sort of likable and enjoyed watching. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of people in this, like who are no longer with us, like Alan Arkin as the chief is not around, and James Caan as the president. That was great, and they did do a little joke of him not saying nuclear.
It's pronounced nuclear.
Nuclear. And yeah, Terry Crews, David Koshaw, you know, definitely with back when comedies were good. And then we and then we had like a hiatus of just stupid comedies. And yeah, and Anne Hathaway was a good choice for 99. And her story in that is pretty good in that as well, if memory serves. I feel like watching it now.
Yeah, same actually.
Yeah. Stew in my brain. Yeah. But Terrence, here's to you, sir. May you fly Priscilla in the sky. Cock on a frock on a rock. Whatever the line is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well said, Mike. Well said.
In a roundabout way. Well said.
Indeed.
In a roundabout way.
In a roundabout way, indeed. Alrighty. Let's move on to the rest of the pod. Our next bit of news is straight out of Middle Earth, because recently there was a convention in the UK where a lot of the Lord of the Rings and Rings of Power cast appeared, and in particular we had the wonderful Sir Ian McKellen make an announcement that has had a few people either excited or confused. Or I liked IGN's take on this, because they're basically, their headline on this was somehow Frodo returned. It just made me. This is basically they're just like, somehow Frodo's in Hunt for Gollum. Yes, Frodo Baggins, Elijah Wood will be reprising his role once again in The Hunt for Gollum, which is the upcoming Andy Serkis directed, Peter Jackson produced.
Not to spoil it, but isn't Frodo just dicking around in the Shire?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like this, I was in a bookstore today and I saw a copy of Unfinished Tales on the shelf, and I looked at the back, and like one of the stories that's covered is actually part of what this movie is going to be about, which is, you know, like Aragorn hunting Gollum, and Sauron obviously trying to get the ring and all this stuff. Yeah, so, but like you're right, at this time, Frodo's in the Shire. Bilbo's in the Shire. He hasn't left yet. He's still got the ring. They're just la-di-da-ing along in the Shire in Hobbiton, and yeah, Frodo's going to be in it. There's theories that there's going to be sort of like a callback to, Frodo being this character who's like reading from Bilbo's, like there's like that framework of him reading Bilbo's book, his writings, and going, oh, what happened to Gollum? There's this side quest with Gollum. I want to read about it. Like, that people are saying something like that. I don't know. I can't imagine his role in this being too extensive, personally, based on the source material. I don't know how close of an adaptation this is going to be, considering we've talked about it before, but it is such a small portion of the lore, what they're trying to make into a movie. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. And like Orlando Bloom's been talking about, like, I'll come back and play Legolas again, but you're gonna have to use AI to make me young.
Holy crap! Like, dude.
Like, it's just, I don't know. But the other cool bit of news out of this was that Surrey and McKellen confirmed that they will be commencing principal photography in May of next year.
Ooh, that's cool.
So that's cool. So about 9 months away until they start shooting this thing, and then hopefully they can get it out 2027, probably for Christmas, I'd imagine, based on when most of the Middle-earth movies come out. Yes, Mike?
Who's going to be the body double for Ian McKellen? Because that man is approaching 90.
Yeah, he can't move fast enough.
I'm so worried. This movie is not going to be completed before he passes away. Touch wood, touching all the wood. Hopefully he's like John Williams and Clint Eastwood, and he just lives another 10 years. But I don't know.
I talked about Mel Brooks before, and he's going to be 100.
Yeah. He's going to be 100 next year.
2's going to be.
Yeah, it's insane. So I don't know. I mean, sure. If you want to
Stop
throw
living
Frodo
in the past, people.
Yeah, if you want to put Frodo in this movie, great. I love Elijah Wood. I love his Frodo. So, yeah.
Dicking around, eating an apple.
Yeah. If you can get Frodo in this thing, like, can we have Merry and Pippin? Can we have Sam Gamgee? Can we get the whole gang back
Sam
together?
is more likely to be reading the books and retelling the story.
Yeah, based on the way the story ends. Yeah, you're right, because Frodo goes off to Valinor at the end. He goes to the Undying Lands at the end of the story. So
Goes to Florida.
He goes to Florida to retire.
To retire.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I am still kind of on the fence about whether this movie needs to exist or not. But hey, some people say that about Rings of Power, and Rings of Power is one of my favorite shows. So I'm not going to naysay this. So I will.
Yeah, like what you like.
Like what you like, and enjoy what you enjoy, and I'm sure I will find enjoyment in this. What about you, Fulya? I know you're a bit, I don't want to say lazy when it comes to Middle-earth related content.
Lazy?
You've been to Hobbiton.
But you've been to fucking Hobbiton. And
I have, yes.
Yes. You've been to where they're probably going to be filming it there next year.
I was going to say, I went there before even watching the movies, and then I went and watched the movies.
Yes. But yeah, based on
there, this does nothing for me.
I still loved it. It looks cool.
I like the tree that's grown on the hill.
I like the cider I got to drink at the at the Dragon
Inn. At the Prancing Pony.
Yes. Yes. What do you think? What are you thinking about this? Yes.
In terms of this news, it sounds interesting. It'd be really cool to see, as many of the cast members who can come back would be really awesome, like the original cast members. The only problem is, like, we know some of them obviously are getting on in their age, so I don't know how much they could really do apart from talk. Not to mention the fact that they'd be wearing some heavy costuming.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like there's gonna be people in this. Like, I don't know if getting Orlando Bloom back for a role where he needs to be this real agile young-looking elf, even though he's hundreds of years old, is a really something that they need to really go.
Well,
with.
they're probably not going to be bringing Legolas back. That's just someone asked Orlando Bloom if he'd want
Right.
to replay the character again.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Sorry,
And he just said if they asked him, he would go back.
Yeah, but no,
Okay.
he's not. Legolas is not involved in this story. No.
Okay. Well, that's fair. Okay. But yeah, like I don't know. I'm one of those type of people. It's like I liked the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I watched the Hobbit trilogy, and I haven't really touched them since. I do have the extended cut edition on Blu-ray of the Lord of the Rings, not the Hobbit. So I could potentially go back out of my way to go and rewatch them again. But I'm not as invested in this world as I am in other franchises like your Harry Potters and your Star Wars and all that sort of stuff. So, sorry to burst your bubble there, Michael. I think it's just more a case of the world itself, although really cool, and I love the idea of it all, and the story is, really nice. It didn't really intrigue me as much as what some other franchises did. And it might also just be the fact that I know a lot of people who are into the Lord of the Rings franchise are more like they've read the books, so they know the story in a lot more detail. Whereas I haven't read those books, and I know how big those books are. And they're massive.
I used to have them. I literally went to pull them out and show you, but they're not next to me anymore. I moved
Okay.
them from my desk. But yes, they are. Yes, dense.
Yes,
dense is the word.
Hefty, very like freaking
Doorstop like.
Exactly.
Yeah, or they're like it's like 1,000 pages, like to read the whole thing.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
The trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you
So
should every year.
So it like for me, it'd be cool to see this come to light and to see the different cast members from the original movies come into this. I'm just not overly invested in it, but I don't know. Maybe whenever the trailer comes out for this, we'll see, and then it might get me into it. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess, in the future when that happens.
I think I'm most excited to see Andy Serkis play Gollum again. I think that's going to be cool. That's going to be cool.
Who's going to be his body double?
Yeah. Mike, what are you thinking? I know you've kind of said a little bit of your thoughts already, but what do you think about Frodo being in this movie and how it's going?
I think he'll probably have the same as what he had in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Like just to have the glue to say this is where the story is, because I think Searching for Gollum actually takes place after the birthday of Bilbo.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think so.
So
yeah,
good excuse to not have Bilbo, because we don't have Ian Holm anymore, unfortunately. So it would definitely fit in within though, because I think it's like 11 years between the birthday and Frodo leaving, if memory serves.
Yeah,
Don't
it's a
count me on
long
that.
time.
Yeah, so. And I was having a look at because apparently wasn't there? Yeah, Viggo Mortensen is returning for this as well, and he's in his 60s, so he's the same age as Ian McKellen was in the original trilogy. So that's freaky. But I don't know. It is hard to picture. Sure, you can do like de-aging stuff, and no doubt this sort of thing would go hand in hand of doing a lot of CGI sort of stuff and like deep fakes, putting faces on people. Like I see that for Gandalf, for not majority, but certain shots that deem appropriate for it. I'm not poo-pooing it whatsoever, because I do like me Lord of the Rings. I can tolerate Rings of Power and all their interesting choices. But what are you going to do? Reboot the entire thing? Maybe.
Eventually,
find different.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, find different avenues to do it. I mean, I did like the Riders of Rohan sort of anime version, even though no one saw it. I did. I was by myself in the cinema. It's like, I'm enjoying it, but it's too quiet.
Yeah.
I'm in this big room, big screen. I feel like Citizen Kane. I just clapped at the end of it. It's like, yes. Yeah. Cool. To the answer of your previous question, good. Have Elijah Wood back, but have all the hobbits back.
Yeah.
Because they got to be doing something. I don't know. Samwise's gardening. Let's have Samwise garden for about 30 minutes for the entire film.
Just him doing some cozy gardening stuff.
Doing some weeding.
Some weeding.
Yeah.
Making
what's
potatoes.
that? Lo-fi?
Yeah, lo-fi.
Stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
lo-fi, like
Lord of the
gardening.
Rings.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm such an old man now. I'm enjoying someone mowing lawn for 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, you like that. You like those kind of videos, don't you?
I don't know. It just relaxed me, like just tidying up, like stuff.
Yeah. That's cool. It's cool. I get it.
Yeah, old man stage.
Old man stage. All right.
And then then my wife is like knocking on the door. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you on the internet? It's like, I'm watching porn.
Grass porn.
Yeah.
Grass porn. Cut, night and neat. Watering the plants. Anyway.
Nice. Let's move on
It's
to our
time
last
to swap over headphones.
last bit of news. Is from another beloved franchise that we enjoy, especially on this podcast, and that is Doctor Who. Now, there has been a lot of talk in recent weeks about this show. Ncuti Gatwa did come out and kind of reveal why he stepped away from the role. It was a lot of work for him. It was a bit too much, I think, by the sounds of it. So he just needed to step away. Plus, he was probably getting other opportunities come his way, as we've speculated. But then, of course, the biggest question is Doctor Who getting a season 2? Season 3. It hasn't been renewed by Disney yet. Russell T Davies is in the dark. He has stated repeatedly he's tired of people asking him about it. Fans have been worried. Like, is the last scene of modern, like, new Who is going to be Billie Piper's face, regenerated, and we're never going to get an answer. But potentially that's not exactly accurate, because the BBC have finally stepped into the conversation and reassured us Whovians that Doctor Who is going nowhere. And you can take that sentence as you will, because there's a double meaning behind it if you really think about it, but we won't. So BBC Chief Content Officer Kate Phillips spoke during the Edinburgh TV Festival this week, and she said that the BBC is basically just going to continue with Doctor Who if Disney decide not to renew it. She says Disney has been a great partnership, and it continues with the war between the land and the sea next year, but going forward, with or without Disney, Doctor Who will still be on the BBC. So yeah, so it's kind of good to hear that this may not be the end of Doctor Who, but some people are probably saying that, oh, maybe the show should take a break and step away for a bit, and because the Disney seasons 1 and 2 weren't really received positively or critically on the whole as they were hoping. Like, we enjoyed, to varying degrees, the three of us, when we reviewed the show on the podcast. There was a lot we liked, and there was some stuff we didn't like. We did really enjoy Shooty Gatwa's performance as the Doctor, and I think I can speak for us all when I say that, and that we're, sad that he's moved on, but it is what it is. There's always going to be a new Doctor, so, but yeah, I honestly just, I'm ready for whatever. I'm, I can definitely call myself a Doctor Who fan now, which is great, and whatever form it takes, if it's on Disney or the BBC, I hope it's good, and I hope it's fun, and it maintains the spirit that we love about the show. So, who knows? Who knows? Fulya, what do you think of this news? Have you been worried about seeing the news about whether or not it's going to keep going, or do you think the BBC are just going to say fuck you to Disney and do their own thing?
Look, I don't know what's going on with this whole sort of Doctor Who thing with Disney Plus and BBC. Obviously, it's definitely going to continue on with the BBC because that's where it originally started. But I think what worries me is more so the fact that we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Even though we've had the representatives of BBC saying, hey, don't worry, we're still going to be making more, but they haven't really given us like a time frame more so. And so that does kind of lead me to believe that it's going to be a while before we hear anything else about it. The other thing that also has me a little worried is the fact that the old New Who has been removed from, at least from Stan, because they've their rights have expired to keep it on there. Where is it going now? Like, what streaming service are we going to be able to watch it? Are they going to continue, if Disney Plus is going to continue to push out the new seasons of Doctor Who, will we get the old ones on Disney Plus? Like, are they going to make a deal for them? That's another thing that I'd like to know, because there's a lot of people out there who are, big fans of the show. They're like rewatching it. We've got new fans here who want to finish the series.
Yes. Hello.
I want to see Kendall's reaction to the ponds.
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes.
One day you will.
We need to finish off our reviews, damn it.
Yeah.
Do I need to send a USB through post?
Yeah. Here's a hard drive. Please fill it up for us.
Yeah. Yeah, next time I go to Bendigo, I'll just stop in at yours, Mike, and be like, here's a 128 gigabyte USB. Put all the Doctor Who on here.
Yeah, I'll give you all of them, including Classic Who.
Wow. Yeah,
it's really happening.
So yeah, I am a little concerned about what's going on behind the scenes. I just feel like we're not going to get any news for a little while until they sort it out. I just hope it's sooner rather than later, because then everybody starts speculating the worst.
Yeah.
And we all know how that goes with a lot of things, including in the gaming industry. So, it's just one of those things where it's just like, I don't know if no news is good news in this respect, but like, we need news. Please tell us what's happening.
Please.
Yeah.
Please, yes. All right, Mike. I'm really
Hello.
curious for your thoughts on this, especially being the biggest of Whovians on the pod. How are you feeling about all of this behind the scenes stuff, and what do you think the BBC are doing here?
Well, it sort of is confirmation of what people have been speculating. Like the BBC is not going to get rid of Doctor Who because out of all the TV shows and everything, it's their biggest cash cow, especially when it comes to a global market. There's name recognition. A lot of people back then used to subscribe to BritBox because it had Doctor Who. Because people aren't watching Midsummer Murders or anything like that. So yeah, it's their biggest nest egg, and yeah, it's just confirmation. It's like they are going to continue with Doctor Who. It's just with or without Disney sort of thing. And so speculation, if Disney does pull out, then that means, okay, they renegotiate what's going on with Doctor Who. That means probably Doctor Who will go back on BritBox and then maybe go back on Stan. We don't know what the things were because Doctor Who used to be on HBO Max over in America, so that's dried up and there's no more Doctor Who on HBO Max. So the negotiating table would probably figure out, okay, now the distributing rights are now up for grabs. Will Disney say, okay, we'll have all Doctor Who on Disney, and then continue with the show with Billy Piper as maybe not Doctor, because that's still a question up in the air of how that's going to go. As well as we still don't know a release date for Fire Between Land and Sea. People were speculating, it's probably the end of this year. It's more looking towards in the middle of next year, but still we don't know when that's going to happen. So yeah, so I think because of this statement saying, well, we're just going to do more Doctor Who with or without Disney, it's just they got to say yay or nay. And then if they say nay, doesn't matter. We'll just continue Doctor Who. Not looking as fabulous as it did on Disney Plus, because I'm still not getting over the fact that I'm watching Doctor Who on 4K. It's weird considering I've been watching Doctor Who on standard definition, and the aspect ratio was just a box and just shaky sort of. Doctor Who works when it's a little bit shit. Just because it's all flashy and
you don't like
cinematic.
it being so in focus.
No, that's just a plus. That's just salad dressing when it comes to Doctor Who.
It doesn't need the bells and whistles.
Yeah, if the stories are good and cemented, it doesn't matter if the sets are a bit shaky and the monsters are made of green bubble wrap, and that's it. It's because it's just the oomph. It's the X factor. It's the Doctor Who. It's as I said, it's a little bit shit. It's about a shape-shifting alien that travels through time and space in a police telephone box.
That's it.
Nothing more nuanced than that. So yeah, it's just setting in stone. Doctor Who is going to continue. In what capacity, we don't know. Yeah, and it's just unfortunate that it's just a lot of dicking around, and unfortunately that sort of played the hand of Shooty, like closing up shop, basically, because if Russell didn't know, he wouldn't know, and he's like his star's sort of rising, especially doing like the Barbie movie and which one was it? Sex Education.
Yeah.
So his star sort of is on the rise now, and he's demanded to do that, and he's rightly so to choose his career over just Doctor Who. I mean, we got two seasons of good Doctor Who out of him, and that's great. And I did like his performance in Doctor Who. There's only one. There's only one questionable episode that I didn't really like, but here nor there. And yeah, and where it goes from now, we don't know. But it's I think it's a shake-up that we probably need, and just so we can find some footing and some ground. And Doctor Who continues. I mean, we still got audio, Big Finish Adventures coming out. The magazines has been going since like the late 70s. So, and that's been keeping on going even throughout the big hiatus between the 90s and the 2000s. So Doctor Who will continue on. It will never go away. It's like a cockroach. It will never go away. And there's always more to watch. There's always more to listen to and to read. And it's an atypical Doctor Who thing. We don't know where, don't know when, but we're going to be there in the meantime.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, speaking of things that are going to be here, let's move on to our next segment, which is, of course, us rolling up to the trailer park.
Trailer park. Couldn't find the thing. Why not? It's not working. Who cares? Rolling up to the trailer park where we all park all the trailers. Blah. Where is the file? I think it's corrupted.
Great. Shall I commence?
Found it.
Rolling up to the trailer park where we all park all the trailers.
I hate technology.
Me too. Okay, except when they bring us things like this, because our first trailer is the first teaser trailer for Fallout Season 2. Finally. It came out of, was it Gamescom? Was this week? Yeah, Gamescom.
Yep. It's happening this weekend right now.
Happening right now. They dropped the Fallout trailer. And yeah, it looks cool. It's great. It's so exciting. I'm really excited that we're actually getting it less than 2 years since the first season came out. First season came out last year. This is coming out at the end of this year. More on that later. But you know, it's a nice little tease and a little look about, you know, obviously the end of season 1 sets up the New Vegas story, because we can see where is it Lucy's the main character.
Yeah, Lucy.
Yeah, her dad Kyle MacLachlan is headed towards Vegas, and in this trailer
Lucy,
she's like,
Lucy the Ghoul and Dogmeat.
Yes, dog meat. Yeah, she's like, why is my dad going to Vegas? And I just kind of liked the way Walton Goggins played the ghoul, like looking at her when she's like, you could like such a loaded look. I thought that was really cool. I love him as the ghoul. I think he's fantastic. Yeah, and I'm glad that this trailer also showed like that we're going to be getting more of his backstory, as it relates to the New Vegas sort of stuff, and what Vault-Tec were doing before the bombs went off. So that's going to be fun and interesting. I think it's Justin Theroux is playing the Vault-Tec dude that we see talking in the trailer. He's great as well in everything he's in. So that's really cool. But yeah, it looks good. Like they don't show us too much. Like it's just, you know, a lot of desert and a lot of you know, post-apocalyptic goodness, and we're getting introduced to some of our you know, nuclear atomic beasties out in the wild that
super mutants.
Yes, that I remember my friends encountering in the games. So that's going to be fun to see. More beasties in this series, but yeah, it's just great. I can't wait to go back to this world and get back into this show. The first season was awesome, so I'm keen. This is a lovely teaser. Fulia, remind me, did you watch the first season at all, or are you? I don't know. What's your thoughts on this teaser?
I have not watched the first season. I don't think I'll be watching the second one because I've not really delved into the Fallout series of games, so not really that interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So nothing on the trailer then, I guess.
Not really.
Okay. All right. Mike, your thoughts? Are you excited for season 2?
We should talk about the Batman game trailer. Did you see that one?
Lego Batman number 3. Actually, no,
Yay.
literally completely new because they're
Yeah.
going the Arkham series.
I'm so happy. I'm getting it. And
Oh,
Matt Berry as
I've got it
Bane.
wish listed.
Matt Berry is playing Bane. That's gonna be good.
That's pretty
Anyway,
good.
Fallout. I have seen Fallout. I really enjoyed the first season, and it's getting me very excited to watch this one because I've played a little bit of New Vegas, and just the aesthetic in this is just it's made me so happy, and just it's great. I just love it. Yeah, just the hold on for a sec. Sorry. Yeah. So it takes place like only a couple of, I think it's like 15 years after the Fallout New Vegas game, and people are going to find out what happened, what's the real ending for Fallout New Vegas, because these games, it's sort of like a story tree. You have different choices of how to finish the game, and it's so that's going to be interesting on how it's going to end up and what the real ending was, and yeah, it all takes it's going back and forth with the time, and especially when you got the ghoul as and real name Cooper, and how that's going to present itself of what Vault-Tec was doing. The interesting story is what's his name? The guy in the mustache. I can't remember his name, but he's like the main protagonist in the game, and either you side with him or you go against him, and it's that sort of thing. His story is great, and I hope they delve into that he knew that the bombs were going to be dropped, but he was wrong for 20 hours within a 20-hour span, so he couldn't get everything done, but he got a lot to do to set up like his utopia within this thing, and so that's going to be awesome, and I can't wait. Yeah, what else? I'm only speculating, but what was I going to say? It was something. I think we're going to be dealing with Area 51 as well, so that's going to be interesting in the lore of this show. So that's going to be fun, and everyone's coming back, and yeah, I can't really add too much because I would like to go into this blind and just enjoying just every bit and pieces for it, and I just like the universe. It's very tongue-in-cheek about global world destruction and how people sort of it's a funnier Mad Max. So and hopefully more vault-dwelling stuff and just excitement. So when's this coming out?
Yes, Fallout Season 2 will be upon us on Amazon Prime Video on the 17th of December, just in time for Christmas.
Good Christmas movie.
Indeed, indeed. Speaking of movies, our next trailer is a movie musical, actually. This is Kiss of the Spider-Woman. I'm really interested in this. There'd been some buzz about this movie. It's played some festivals, and there's already been a trailer out for this that we missed. But I thought with the second trailer coming out this week, why not talk about it? And I'm glad I did because it looks really cool. A bit of sort of movie musical fantasy sort of stuff going on here. Or like the fantasy of the Spider-Woman element mirroring reality and stuff in certain scenes and whatnot. And Jennifer Lopez looks really cool in this, sort of playing this old Hollywood female movie star. She just looks gorgeous. The costuming is fantastic. And it's interesting hearing her sing in a different style. We're so used to how she sings because she's been, performing for a while now. But it's cool to see her doing something a little different. But I like the idea of her being this actress in this world who's like, they say like, oh, they were trying to make her white, but she was always, when it came down to it, she never stopped being Latin. And I was just like, yeah, that's great. I like that. Don't let them change who you are. And I feel like that's going to be a big theme of this movie. Diego Luna's in this as well. We love him. Really cool performance looks like he's giving here as well. And yeah, it just looks really, really interesting and great. Like the juxtaposition of the prison scenes versus the hyper real, Spider-Woman world that they're in with the movie and stuff. So it looks like a really good escapism sort of adventure. With hopefully some great songs. I'm sure they're great songs in this film. So I'm really looking forward to checking this out. Fulya, I know you love musicals, so how did this one work for you?
I think out of the 3 trailers that were, and obviously there's one more we've got after this, this is probably my favorite one of the 3. I actually like the look of this. It's interesting that the main sort of underlying story of it being very kind of like a prison drama. So it's got something political going on. And even though I'm not really the type of person who sort of goes into those type of like genres when it comes to dramas and stuff, the fact that they've kind of intertwined it with this sort of, I don't know if it's like a dream or if it's like a hyper reality of some sort, like it looks really interesting that they're mixing it with like the prison side of it with the Hollywood side of it, where it's all sort of glitz and glamour. And then we have, Aurora, by the looks of things, is her name, played by Jennifer Lopez. And I honestly was taken aback by the way that she looked in a lot of these costumes, because I've not really seen her in anything but her own original hair. I've never seen her in a bob cut. I've never seen her in blonde, like full bleach blonde. And especially not in a period looking piece like this. So I love that she's taken on this role. It's a little bit different to what she's done in the past, which has been a lot of rom-coms or action comedies. And I love that Diego Luna's in this. already just like straight out of Andor. We're getting into the Diego Luna era. Like the Pedro Pascal thing is happening, is now going to happen with Diego Luna, and I cannot wait because we're going to see more of his face, I feel like. And if this is where we're going to start seeing him outside of the Star Wars world, then I'm all for it. This already looks really awesome. And yeah, I'm very keen. I am very keen for this movie. I would like to be able to see this at the cinema if I can get around to it.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. I'm glad
And
you enjoyed.
I also feel like that maybe J-Lo decided to take on this role so that she can maybe challenge herself with regards to the music side of things as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah. Thank you, Fulya. That's awesome. Mike, what about your thoughts? What did you make of Kiss of the Spider Woman? Oh no.
I did not know what to think of this. I sort of came in blind, and I didn't know what was happening. But yeah, I enjoyed the people who were in it, and yeah, it is quite an interesting sort of story as well, because I was looking up a little bit of it. Originally a 1970s novel, which turned into a play, which then turned into a movie in the 80s, and then turned into a musical. So, and then they do a musical version of the thing. So very a roundabout way. So a very interesting sort of turn of events. And I also saw the trailer for the 1980s one, and that looks intriguing too. I might have a watch of that as well as.
I was going to say, is it dissimilar to this, or is it similar, or
sort of similar? It takes place in the prison cell, and one of them's recounting sort of his favorite Hollywood thing.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a story within a story.
Okay. Cool.
Under the backdrop of a South American upheaval thing. So again, and I think you would enjoy this one, Kendall. The 1980s version.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's sort of a remake.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah. First it was a novel, then a play, and that play turned into a movie, and that movie play turned into a musical, and then that musical is now turned into a movie. So it swings and roundabouts.
Oh my god. Raul Julia is in the original. Okay.
And William Hurt.
Okay, I have to watch this.
Playing a questionable Latin person, even though he's white as sour milk. Anyway.
Yes.
It's the 80s.
It was a different time.
Yes.
Not too dissimilar.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
Yeah, so I said I might actually watch that as well, because I like those two. And I like the look of these two in this one as well. And then musical. I did not know it was a musical. And I saw Spider-Woman and so, ooh, is this Marvel? Haha.
Honestly, that's where my brain went as well when I saw Spider-Woman in the title. But then I was sorely mistaken when I saw J-Lo.
It's a sequel to Madam Web.
The sequel nobody asked for. No.
Or speculated. But when is this film coming up?
Yes, well, Kiss of the Spider-Woman, the 2025 version, will be in theaters on the 30th of October.
Oh, not too far away.
Yeah,
Couple months.
Close. Couple months to go. Alrighty, our third and final trailer this week is very different from the last two, and this is for more of a dramatic thriller. This film is called Anniversary. I'm really intrigued by this. Really intrigued. Like, I the only thing I would say is that probably the trailer gave away a little bit too much. with certain plot points and things that kind of happen, and they could have probably played a bit more of the mystery of it. I mean, I feel like there's probably still more to discover as to, what this, this weird obsessive chick, what her deal is, why she's married into this family, and why Diane Lane hates her so much, and it's just a lot of weird things kind of going on. But yeah, the casting is really, really good. The cast has grabbed my interest. And Kyle Chandler's in this, the upcoming Green Lantern. Dylan O'Brien is fantastic. Phoebe Dynevor from Bridgerton, and Zoe Dutch as well. So there's a really good cast here, and it's just I don't know, really interesting story. That has me interested. So an interesting story that has me interested. That's a quote for a poster. Fucking
Put that on a shirt.
Put me out to pasture, people. Jesus, I'm done. No more podcasting for you.
No.
Stick a fork in me. I'm done.
No, I'm tired. I've had a big day today.
That's it.
But anyway, yeah, I like this. Yeah, I like what's going on here. And I'm probably gonna watch this. So hopefully the reviews are good as well. But yeah, yeah, it's interesting. Fulya, what did you think of Anniversary?
I'm not too sure if I want to watch this. It looks very, very sort of dark. I mean, dark in the sense of what's actually happening with this family. But yeah, I don't know. The main girl that they're all sus about is really giving me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Already out the gate, I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's nice to see a familiar face in McKenna Grace.
Yes,
she's,
as well.
She's in there. She's from
good.
Young Sheldon from like the earlier seasons. She's grown up a lot since then. Yeah. But apart from that, like I don't know that it really interests me, to be honest. So this one might be a pass from my side.
Fair enough. That's okay. That's totally fine. Mike, what about you? What did you think of this trailer?
Again, I didn't know what to think of it. Having a look at the sort of premise for it. Anniversary is an upcoming American thriller movie directed by Jan Komamas. He's Polish, I think. Slated to release whenever it is. The film explores an unraveling of a once close-knit family amidst of the rise of a controversial new movement known as the Change, which envelops the country. In a time of national tension and uncertainty. So this could mean a lot of things. And I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. Because that's too much about real life.
Too close to the bone?
Well, that's the thing. I'm intrigued of which way is it going to be. Because change is good. But is it a good change? Not too sure about that. Yeah. I'm not too sure because I'm very family orientated and as you said, it hits a bit too close to home of tensions within families and all that. It's like, yeah, I get it, but I'm not sure where it's going to go. So it's a possible for me to watch this, but I don't know if I should or not. I don't know. I might let canaries in the coal mine sort of work that out for me, and then say, give it a go. But when is that going to be, Kendall?
Yes, well, that's the thing. We don't know. We don't have an Australian release date yet for Anniversary, but if you're in the States, it's coming out on the 29th of October. So there we have it. There we have it. That's Trailer Park done, which means now it's time for the moment, the section, the segment, the part, the place, the time, the thing, the Spidey sensory section we like to call.
Whip.
Thwip. Popcorn culture.
Yes.
We're
Popcorn
getting everything
culture
in
time.
here. We got rhinos. We got unicorns.
There's a lot happening.
We got
The plot has thickened real
quick
with a double C, thick.
so
Yes.
thick.
Thick. We are here to talk about the next series of episodes of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, episodes 3 through 5, which are, of course, I had them, and then my thing reloaded. Secret Identity Crisis, Hitting the Big Time, and The Unicorn Unleashed with an exclamation point.
Unleashed
yes.
the unicorn.
So, there's a lot going on. My overall thoughts on this chunk is that I'm enjoying where the story is going. I'm surprised to see so many characters rocking up. Like Scorpion's entered the chat. Doc Ock has entered the chat. Norman Osborn and Harry Osborn and Unicorn, and there's a lot. There's a lot going on. There's more rogues gallery than Spider-Man suits in this chunk of episodes. But it's cool. It's fun. I'm really enjoying watching the show. It's an easy watch. I'm enjoying. I don't think Peter's having so much character development. Really, it's more the characters around him, and then whatever's going on with Lonnie is, the concerning element, which I'm excited to talk to you guys about his storyline, and where that's headed, because I'm scared. I'm scared.
Yeah.
So scared.
I'm scared. But that's okay. It's gonna break my heart. I can see it coming. My heart is gonna be stomped on the floor. But here we are. It's why we love superhero dramas. But no, it was good. It's fun. I like this burgeoning friendship and mentorship that's coming along between Norman and Peter. I like that so far they're subverting the expectation of Norman Osborn being a villain. He's more of a hero here. He wants to help. He wants to repay Peter for saving his son's life. And Harry's now involved as well, which I think is pretty funny, but also not so great for Nico, who I'm worried is just going to say, see you, Pete, very, very soon. So there's a lot to love here that's going on, and a lot to be concerned about as well. Fulya, how did these 3 episodes go for you?
Yeah, look, these 3 episodes, there was like a chunk of information that I had to just, engage with. And I love that these 3 episodes also sort of go through the many developments of suits for Spider-Man, and the fact that, it's a very trial and error phase, especially considering the fact that, Norman Osborn is now knows what the hell's going on and that he's Spider-Man. And, I love that Peter was trying to play it off as, no, that wasn't me. It's just, your security systems, they're playing tricks on you. And then, the 1-2 punch from Norman of, I'm the only person who looks at his age. It's like, damn, okay, you fooled me. Yeah.
Fool me once. Shame on you.
Yeah. So far, not too much going on for Peter per se. It's, you know, interesting that now Harry knows. It's like, oops.
It's a weird
Oopsie.
situation where everyone knows Peter's secret identity.
Yeah, it's
And they're all just like, keep it secret.
keep it safe.
I get that reference.
And
It's
then
a secret. It's a secret.
but the other side of this particular story, that his friend Lonnie is now getting into a bit of trouble himself, and like you, Kendall, I am very worried for him. The fact that he did a trade-off for his brother, to then be forced into a gang that he didn't want to be in the first place. But now he's, after watching episode 5, he's feeling okay about being in this gang, which kind of concerns me. Yeah, and the fact that he's missing out on his practice, his football practice, because the gang has now become priority. Family, quote unquote. And that just, yeah, I don't know what's happening here, and I have a feeling it's not going to end well with Lonnie. And I feel like Peter's going to find out, because something's going to go down, and they're both going to be caught in the middle of it. They're going to find out about what's going on, and then Peter's just going to have to put him away somehow. I don't know. That's kind of where my brain's going now after seeing these 3 episodes. You know, something's going to happen. It's all going to develop. Peter's going to find out that Lonnie's in a gang, and then, yeah, going to have to deal with it. So, yeah, no, it's been interesting stories, multiple going on in these last 3 episodes. So, we'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the development of the fact that we've got a Doc Ock.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, so Norman's not gonna be the bad guy in this. We've got a different bad guy for this world. Okay, cool. Interesting.
Think about Spider-Man. He's got a big rogues gallery.
Indeed.
Yeah, so no, it's been fun. It's been fun so far.
Yeah, nice. Mike, how are these episodes going on the rewatch for you?
Yeah, it's going good. With the sort of, they are very easily digestible, and having 3 sounds daunting, but they sort of like seamlessly fill in. So I can understand, like, if I was doing a rewatch, I would watch the entire thing, and it would just work a lot. Just work it being absolutely seamless. Having said that, when you two were talking about the sort of not really much to do with Peter and his sort of overarching story, that's why I think it's probably called the Adventure, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I think it's more to do with the neighborhood of Spider-Man. So that's why we're having a lot of focus on Lonnie as well, and we're enjoying that sort of thing. And I'm enjoying it too, with the sort of story that he's taking up, difficulties with his younger brother, and falling into a situation that he feels that he needs to protect his family, protect his little brother. So why not me instead? And then trying to juggle like school and being part of this gang is sort of parallel with Peter being Spider-Man, and trying to juggle sort of his life with being Superman, as well as being a friend to Nico as well, and that's sort of having tensions as well as having a new relationship with the Osborns as well. Keeping up with the Osborns. Rest in peace, Ozzy. Anyway, my brain is on fire today. Yeah, and having them actually knowing his identity is a very interesting choice, and how that sort of catapults the sort of parallel to the universe that we're used to of Peter being sort of mentored by Tony Stark, now being mentored by Osborn, Norman Osborn, and how the universe is sort of the same but different as well. And we go into the second episode of being mentioned about the Sokovia Accord as well, and how that's having an effect on the outside of Spider-Man's neighborhood, but it's still part of the overarching thing. So it is a good watch of rewatching. It's like, oh yeah, that's a thing, and having like little sprinkles of all the rogues gallery as well, of having the unicorn and the rhino, which is not really the rhino yet, and having Scorpion, who's not really the Scorpion yet, and that sort of coming up to be a thing, and also Doc Ock as well, of trying to gain the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. And yeah, I'm enjoying the rewatch, and I'm enjoying watching people enjoying it as well, and I'm sort of getting a lot more out of it than the previous watch, because I'm just watching it as like, this is good. It's yeah, something to watch with the kids as well, even though they say ass too much. They say ass too much, and I don't want my children to say ass. You save your ass. You save my ass. It's like, no. Save your bottom.
Save your bottom.
I mean, my little boy says, "Is like, Dad, can we say oh heck?" It's like, sure, you can say that, because I've caught you saying other things.
Oh.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
When you bang your thumb, you say something that you regret, and you got a parrot behind you.
Indeed. Yeah, I wanted to talk about the whole like mention of the Sokovia Accords thing, because like I feel like that's really interesting for them to bring it up, and first off it made me go like, oh, this universe is really close to 616, like super close, like it's literally just like a butterfly wing away from being the same thing.
Ashton Kutcher away.
Yeah. Yes, I found that really interesting. Because we talked about it last week, but then like seeing it again now, and getting the vibe that the Sokovia Accords were going to play a bit more of maybe a bit of a role here, because as we know, they're about superheroes registering and being used by the government, and for the government, where the government deems necessary, and I like how they kept it the same of like the Avengers are split on it, and Cap is on the run with Bucky, and all of that, and like the only thing missing is just that Spider-Man wasn't there. Like everything else played out the same. So I really found that really interesting, and then the fact that like you've then just got Norman Osborn looking at Peter and going, well, this is our opportunity to kind of forge something uniquely ours in terms of what a superhero can be and do, and how we can kind of bring about goodwill in the world, because Norman makes it quite clear he's not a fan of the Avengers. I'm sure there's probably some kind of rivalry between him and Tony Stark that we're not going to go into in this show, but I like the hint that he's just like, these Avengers have been allowed to run amok and unchecked, and now they're paying for their crimes. Basically, is what he's saying. And so that kind of ties into my thoughts on Norman being this, like, I feel like he means well and he's a good person, but you're starting to see these seeds of, like, it's gonna go. I think it's still gonna go somewhere dark with him. Like, he means well, but then it's just going to head in a direction, and then him and Peter are going to be at odds eventually. Whether or not that's this season or it's next season, I don't know. But for now, I like the idea of him being Peter's, mentor. Because that's just great. And I'm just really enjoying, seeing his enthusiasm, like when he shows Peter, his plans and what he can bring to the table and what he wants to do, and like Peter's like so happy about it, but then he's also like, well, actually, I work alone, and I feel like that also just speaks to Peter's character in terms of, like, that's who Peter Parker is, that's who Spider-Man is, because he doesn't want to get anyone hurt, he doesn't want to get anyone into trouble, and all of this, and he just wants to do his own thing, even though allying with Norman Osborn and Oscorp is a very beneficial decision at the time for him in this present time in the story, and then just the different types of suits we get. That was a fun montage of all these different suits, and I'm just going, okay, I know Norman's trying to help, but do we really believe that Norman Osborn came up with these suits that just don't work? I found it, I don't know, it was a little bit of a stretch for me, for him to get it wrong a few times before he got it right with the white and black suit. But yeah, and then like Peter going, oh, it needs some red. I want red and blue like Captain America. Like, that was funny as well. So yeah. Anyway, that was just kind of run on thought ramble that I just did. But yeah, but it's there's a lot, like, there's a lot going on. Fulya, what did you think of like, do you agree with sort of how the Sokovia Accords sort of are used to set up how Norman thinks, and maybe do you think I'm right that it's hinting he might go down a certain path, or do we think they're really just going to stick to this Norman Osborn's a good guy in this universe, maybe?
I mean, I kind of think he's got, Peter Parker's, um, what's that phrase? His best
interest at heart.
Yeah, that. Like, I feel like he is just genuinely trying to help, because he also is concerned about his community and the citizens of the city, and I think that he finds the destruction that the Avengers have caused a bit too much. And I can totally understand that, like the way that they have to, like, they end up destroying buildings and just landscapes just for the sake of saving a planet, right? And I know that is part of the sacrifice, if you want to say it that way, to the consequences of trying to save a planet, or like many lives. So the fact that they've brought in the Sokovia Accords into this series, and showing that this Captain America's Civil War happened in this particular universe too, but sans Spider-Man. I think that Norman he's just concerned for the well-being of the citizens in the city that he lives in. I hope that it doesn't go dark, because I'd like to see this kind of like good version of Norman Osborn be played out, where Doc Ock is the one that we have to be concerned about. I don't know if they'll stick to that, and whether or not they'll, like, if Norman, like, I have this funny suspicion that Norman and Doc Ock are gonna find a way to agree with each other and work together in some form. I could be wrong, but the fact that Doc Ock is coming in with all this, tech, and he wants to be recognized for the work he's doing on this tech. And so maybe there's a possibility that Norman Osborn has seen this technology that has been used by bad people, and now he wants to take, you know, take have a go at maybe making advances in that kind of technology, because he also works in that kind of space. So I don't know where it's going. I would like it to be a more positive version of him rather than a negative one, but like there are no clear signs for me to determine whether or not he's going to go good or bad in this particular series. And in some cases for this particular series, it's probably a good thing for me to not be able to predict what's going on, right? So, and I kind of like that with shows where you think it's going to go one way, but then it ends up going another, or when you don't know which way it's going to go more so. And so that's when I think to myself, okay, well, that's really good, because it means that whatever the end result's going to be is going to surprise me. And yeah, whether it's going to be what I want or what I don't want, we'll find out later on. But until then, so far, this has been fascinating to watch.
Mm,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Mike, I know asking you what you're thinking about where this is going is probably problematic, but
I plead the fifth.
yeah. What do you think? Like, though, we don't see it super often. This take of Norman Osborn being and Harry Osborn being like, altogether protagonists, good guys.
Yeah.
Do you appreciate these versions of the characters? Like, what are your thoughts on seeing them being in more a positive light?
Oh yeah, it's always good. Because I coincidentally, when I was being by myself, I was having I looked up that I had to look up something that if something actually happens, because I couldn't remember, and it does, and I'm not going to say what it is because it's loosely a spoiler, but I think it's intentional to actually have like different versions of these characters, and because the previous ones that we've seen is live action within the Tobey Maguire or the Andrew Garfield Norman and Harry Osborns. We've seen the bad sides of them, and this is a new reincarnation, and they're all valid. They're all different, and they're all good. And yeah, I like the sort of characterization that they have of I don't know, Norman having a little bit of jealousy when it comes to the Avengers. It also leads to me, well, even if he is bad or even if he is good, if you're a tech billionaire and you're trying to be good, and he's sort of leading Peter to be sort of like this good force in the middle of this, should superheroes or metahumans be regulated or anything, and it's what comics usually do, of trying to find the sort of nuance and the sort of subtlety between the good ideas and the bad ideas. It's like, sure, we need superheroes, but should they be accountable for their actions? And you saw that in Spider-Man as well. I mean, mind you,
Yeah.
Lex is a jealous piece of shit who says, "What about me? I'm rich and powerful. I can do whatever I want, and people just like this alien that comes down from the sky. This sort of Moses
Calls himself
sort of,
Superman.
calls him Superman. I mean, how pretentious is that? I mean, I do have my name written on on the side of the building, but that's different. That's different." Anyway, yeah. So I think Norman being that sort of archetype is skirting with here, and I can't remember if he has a good relationship with Tony. I can't remember, but it's sort of these sort of tech billionaires within this comic book universe, like what's his name? Not Norman Hammer, but that guy. Guy who likes to dance. Protagonist in Iron Man 2.
Justin Hammer.
Justin Hammer. That's it.
Yeah.
He's only been in one thing. Anyway. And what if? But yeah, it's sort of like that arms race of trying to protect the world. Yeah, out of any means necessary. And yeah, and I like the sort of characterization that Norman has within this. It's like, yeah, you do see the fleeting. It's like, I need to do this, and whatever the cost. Who cares about the cost? I'm rich. Cost doesn't bother me. What's that? What's that? Jurassic Park thing?
Spared no expense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you read the novel of Jurassic Park?
I haven't.
Should give it a read.
Worth a look.
The character of that is very different.
Yeah, don't they make? Isn't Hammond like worse in the book? Have I heard that correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah.
Save that for another pod.
Yeah. So that's all for yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't really tell you what really happens because it's a spoiler.
Because it's a spoiler, exactly.
Secret. It's a secret. It's only known to me and the people who have watched it.
Yes, exactly. Okay, let's switch gears then and talk a little bit about Lonnie and his story. So this is kind of our B plot, our secondary or our like adjacent plot going on with him and his brother and now the 110th Street gang. Yeah, it sucks. I was wondering when, like, you know, he gets the call from his mum or his dad or whatever to come home. And he, you know, I thought that, you know, his brother had died. I was like, okay, I'm picturing the worst. So I was really glad when his brother wasn't dead, but then when we find out that he's joined a gang, I was just like, okay, no, this is bad. This is really bad. And it felt really like it felt really dark for a I mean, it's not a kids show per se, but it's not like this isn't like a, you know, Rick and Morty level animated show. Like it's not
it's
Invincible.
family friendly. It's
family friendly. And so they're tackling some heavy themes here, and I did feel like, you know, that was it Big Don, the name of that was what's he called, the leader of the gang.
Leader of the pack.
He's very intimidating, and like, you know, how he starts in the shadows and then he comes out. Yeah, Big Donovan, that's his name. Starts in the shadows and he comes out and he's got this great voice behind him and just this like, it's my way or the highway. And he like implies that if you know, if like Lonnie or his brother were to like leave the gang, kind of without permission, I guess they'd be killed. Like that's kind of what's implied, is that bad things will happen to you physically if you decide to leave. I was really saddened when Lonnie made the decision to take his brother's place in the gang. but I suppose that's, it makes sense for the character. It's who he is. He clearly protects his family, and like, I like that exchange of dialogue about like, this, like, this is my little brother, he's my family. He's like, well, he is our family, he's not your brother anymore, he belongs to us. And I was like, holy fuck. So, and then for
See
them,
this is mine now.
yeah, this is mine now. And then um for Lonnie to then step up and protect his kid brother and take his place. And oh yeah, it was grueling to watch. And then that journey of, we've talked about, him prioritizing things incorrectly. He's falling behind in school, he's falling behind in football practice. It's his chances at a healthy, successful professional life are dwindling. The more and more he gets into this crime life, this gang life, and it's just, it's tragedy waiting to happen. And but I mean, it was nice to then see, like, during the Scorpions fight between the two gangs, that he had that moment where he gets to save Big Donovan's life, and then gets in his good books finally. Like, that was a good moment. But then you're like, then it leads into him getting this new nickname of Tombstone, and you're
Like
like,
an initiation kind of a thing.
yeah. But then, yeah, and you're like, Tombstone is not a good nickname.
No.
And the fact that Lonnie is like happy with that
Mm.
unsettled me. He's like, that's cool. Like, that's cool. Call me. I like Tombstone. You can call me Tombstone. I'm like, oh no, he's disappearing before our eyes. So yeah. So I'm really, when Pearl finds out, because I'm sure Pearl's gonna find out at some point that what her boyfriend's up to, and it's not going to end well.
No.
So it's an interesting parallel to have Peter and Lonnie kind of getting into these secret identity realms. Like, they have double lives, right? So, and they're juggling their alter egos with their real world shit, and yeah, and it's perilous for them both. So, like, I like how they set up the scene of, like, I think it was in the third episode we watched of the Scorpions gang fight, and then you've got Peter fighting Unicorn and the Russian prisoners. So that was all done super well. But yeah, I'm we were scared for Lonnie going into these episodes, and now we're even more scared. Fulya, I know you are. How did you find his descent into the gang life? How did it work for you?
So when it sort of first kind of started out, and Big Don was, forcing him to give up on school stuff, like the football team that he really wanted to keep going with, the fact that he's missing out on practice sessions, his coach is pulling him up on it, that already had me, like, warning bells were going off for me immediately when we saw that scene. And then the moment that he got the phone call right before he was supposed to be out on the field to practice, to train, from Big Don, I was like, oh, here we go. This guy's going to convince him that if he doesn't go to help him out, he's going to end up, like, following him for the rest of his life, or trying to track him down and kill him, or his family, and blah, 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 blah. So, because that's how gangs work, and it definitely has me very concerned for Lonnie. Superstar is a very valid nickname. It seems more like a positive, makes you feel more like a champion kind of a thing, rather than, I feel like Lonnie doesn't feel like he is a superstar, and so he doesn't like that nickname for whatever reason he has. But Tombstone just does not sound any better, to be honest. it sounds like more of a, like I said before, it's like initiation into this gang life now. The fact that he's saved Big Don's life during this fight scene, and I have a feeling that now he's going to get himself into more trouble than what he already is, and because during that fight he actually avoided like doing any kind of fist fighting. He did not want to touch anyone, right? You could see it in his face. Like he did not want to be involved. But the moment the Scorpion leader decided to bring out a knife, he had to do something. And so that his instincts just jumped straight into it. And makes sense, obviously. Like you have to say something, otherwise, all hell's gonna break loose. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I am very concerned for Lonnie, and I don't know if he's gonna get himself out of it because I feel like now he's slowly descending into it. Like he's going deeper into it, even though he was reluctant about it in the first place to save his brother. So yeah, I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but it doesn't sound like it's gonna be good by the end of it.
No, it doesn't. And Mike knows what happens. And and I'm sitting here being like, how do I pose a question to Mike that doesn't lead into a spoiler? But also, how do I manage to do this in a Doctor Who discussion? Yet I can't do it for this show for some reason. Yeah. No, Mike, do you like the storyline they've given Lonnie? Like, do you think, because part of me with this was also like, I feel like I don't know if it's like a token black storyline to do a gang crime story for a black character in this show, whether that's a detriment or a plus to this, but I mean, if it's highlighting real world shit that goes on in a superhero context, that also makes sense because it's like, our fictional worlds reflect real life in a lot of ways and hold a mirror to it. So I'm of two minds when it comes to this story, and I only feel like it's heading in a bad direction. But what did you think of it when you were watching it for the first time? Just seeing Lonnie be this, hero for his brother, but then now he's just starting to get caught up in it, and liking the nickname Tombstone just seems like a big red flag right here. So I don't know. What do you make of it on in general?
Yeah, it does have its merits of having these sort of similar storylines that we've seen countless of times, and the way I see it, it's always someone's first thing. Like whatever we're watching. I mean, we've seen these sort of stories before because we're in our 30s. So we've seen countless of the same story over and over and over. And if you don't like it because it's over and over, well, it's not necessarily for you. It's for people who are watching this for the first time and actually saying, I understand that sort of the wanting to protect your family, but at what cost? Sort of the same as the Norman Osborn sort of discussion of the duality of helping, but how much can you help without it affecting you and your life? And yeah, the questionable of having the nickname Tombstone does have its sort of thing within that of being like a bit of a notch in the armor of to be good. And it's like, I do like the name. If this is going to be an actual thing, as long as I've got a badass name attached to it, sure, I'll run along with it. And what happens at the end is spoiler and blah blah blah. Play the fifth. and that's why I kind of like the story of Lonnie as well, being attached to a Spider-Man thing, because it does take place within the sort of the time and the place of Queens. It's not necessarily the height of life or anything like that. I mean, it's not necessarily New York. It's more of the outer suburbs of trying to live, and Lonnie lives in a sort of an area that's you need to keep your wits about you, and you may fall into those sort of traps that, and it's not necessarily his doing. He's trying to get your brother out of like a sticky situation, and being the older brother, you have a responsibility of looking after one's own. Do I like it? I don't mind it. I have seen this sort of story before, but sometimes these stories need to be told again, because people don't really seem to be paying attention. And it's also for the people who may also like would blame Lonnie for actually, oh, you could just walk away. You could just walk away. No, you couldn't. You have that privilege of looking away and not doing it, because it's not really your life, is it? So it's also more for the people to get an understanding of this might happen to someone you know, as well as this might happen to someone you don't know. So don't judge someone, their choices, because they probably didn't have a choice to begin with. So I do like that sort of story, being co-side with a superhero thing. So keep it real life as well, and not necessarily, it's not all whimsy and Doctor Strange coming in doing magical shit. Sometimes you do some real stuff. So yeah.
Sometimes you do. Yes. Well, we get a lot of Spider-Man in action across these episodes. We have to, as we mentioned at the top of the podcast, we have to shout out the great Edna Mode once again as a lovely reference. Take it if you will, but I feel like it is a very direct nod to to Edna and the Incredibles when they're going through the different Spider-Man outfits, and Norman decides to give Peter a cape, and he immediately, before he can even touch the bad guy, gets caught up and tangled up in the cape and can't do anything. And it's just, I literally just burst out laughing, pointed at the television, and it was just like, no capes.
Yep. Me too.
Brilliant. It was just brilliant. Brilliant. I also found it hilarious that Norman Osborn didn't find that, like, black, mysterious, claw-like Spider-Man outfit with the wings a bit weird. He's like, a child just recoiled in fear from me, Norman. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Why is this is not working? Yeah, it's quite funny. But yes, there's a few villains going on here as well, and getting to see Doc Ock introduced, I was not expecting. But this show has been renewed for 2 more seasons, as it stands. So, and as Mikey pointed out, Spider-Man has a big rogues gallery. So that was cool to see Doc Ock here as some guy operating in the background selling his wares to bad people, and somehow it's not being connected back to him, which I found really interesting so far. But yeah, I don't know if the unicorn is a canon Spider-Man villain. Maybe, but I liked how they made a reference to the Rhino. Unless it's just a different take on the Rhino in this universe. The Rhino doesn't exist, and the Rhino is a unicorn instead. And it's just
no. The Rhino, the unicorn is a actual villain.
Okay, cool.
But
They're
the
not doing-
rhino, but the rhino is also in this as well, but he doesn't have his suit.
Okay, doesn't have his suit. Was he one of the Russian baddies?
Yes,
Was it the big dude?
yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. I thought so.
Voiced by, coincidentally, voiced by Travis Willingham.
Where do I know that name from?
Critical Role.
Oh, okay, great. Oh, because he voices bloody
Grog.
yes, Grog. He voices
Yeah.
Grog. Yes.
And Fulya, he also voices Ace in One Piece.
Oh, cool. Thank you for that reference.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Your boyfriend.
He
He was my boyfriend.
It's funny. Yeah, but no, there's a lot going on, and I'm hoping they're just kind of setting up these characters for just either one-off appearances. Like I feel like the unicorn's done now and not going to come back. But you know they're setting up, like I said, they're setting up the Scorpions with Scorpion with the Scorpions gang, and we've got Octavius here, and we know Marvel sometimes likes to have too many cooks spoiling the broth, but I'm hoping they're just setting them up for further seasons. Fulya, what was your thoughts in these episodes of seeing so many villains start to pop up in this world here?
I think a lot of them might have just been one-off kind of villains that we just get to sort of just see for that particular episode, and then that's it. Whether or not we see them in future seasons, maybe they might pop up again. I don't know. But as it stands, for me, I feel like apart from Doc Ock, obviously, the rest of them just seem like they're going to just be sort of one-off kind of villains for now. The fact that 2 of the 4 Russian prisoners ended up escaping this time around means that we'll definitely be seeing them again at some point. But the unicorn and then the big guy that ended up going to prison at the end of the last episode we watched. I don't know. Mikhail, yes. I don't know if that's the last of them that we're going to see. I have a feeling the unicorn lady is going to want revenge somehow, so that the 2 that did escape or run away, they may end up going back for them, bringing them out. Then there's going to be a bigger fight later on. I don't know. That's just sort of where my brain's going with this. But yeah, like I don't mind if they're one-offs, like for an episode or 2. That doesn't bother me too much. I just want to know what's going on with Doc Ock now. And now that we've seen him, now that we know that he is the villain behind the tech that these villains are running around with, need to know more of his ulterior motive. Like there's definitely something going on there. But as it stands, they know that there's a logo attached to, like there's a branding attached to that tech. They haven't pinpointed who it belongs to yet. Emphasis on the yet, but they will eventually. And then that's when Doc Ock will come out of his little lair, if you want to call it, and make his presence known to the world. That's what I'm suspecting, at least, at some point. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. Mike, what are your thoughts on all the villains that are popping up in this show, and do you think they're gonna be one-offs or come back down the track?
I'm not saying that, but
Ooh.
if they are or not, it's a surprise. But I do like them sprinkling like the world and how because just like James Gunn likes to do, of just sprinkling like real if you know you know sort of thing, and actually expanding the sort of universe that you have, because you got like years and years and comics of putting like characters in that get briefly mentioned and anything like that. And there's only rarely you have like a self-contained and made for this particular show sort of character. They do like especially shows like this where it is a cartoon where you can chuck in load of references and a lot of interconnective tissues of different comics and all that. That's why I kind of like the fact that you could just have like the Rhino without the suit. You can, because he sort of fits within this sort of area where it's like, oh yeah, it's like a Russian gang and doing that, and then you have the Scorpion as well doing his own thing and not necessarily being the Scorpion just yet. But he does have a knife that kind of looks like a talon for a scorpion. So there's little references in there. And yeah, with Octavius being a disgruntled sort of genius that has to sell like stuff for his work because there's no government grant going into someone who's a bit nutty. And has got an octopus obsession, and I like the sprinkle of the universe of different things. Yeah, will they turn up again?
Yes, yeah. You make a good point. I think it's good world building. Filling out the world, and it's also, I feel like it adds to that style of animation they've chosen to make it really look and feel like a comic book. Those
from the 60s.
Like that's part of what comic books are. Like, you open an issue and Spider-Man will have an interaction with a villain, but there may be references to other villains and other characters, and they'll be all part of the scenery and stuff and part of the world. And so if it does, when you look at it like that, it feels very authentic to the source material they're adapting or transforming by way of making their own story.
Yeah, it's sort of like what the DCU is doing now.
Yeah,
especially with Superman. It's like, is it going to be too filled? It's like, no, it sort of fits within the world because it's already been established that that there's metahumans running around, and it's like, surely we need to do like a one-off movie with Mr. Fantastic. No, don't need to do that. Just chuck him in. He's right here, and he's one of the best things from it. So, yeah. So
100%.
Learn from that. You can just do things just because.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, I don't really have too much else that I want to say. I think we've kind of covered most of the major stuff. Is there anything you guys want to say before we wrap this up?
I'm pretty good.
Mike's
I'm liking the rewatch.
That's good. That's really good. I'm glad to hear that.
Because unfortunately, I'm at this sort of time of my life. It's like I usually watch it once and that's it. So it's kind of good that I'm actually going back to watching something that I liked, and no doubt I'll probably rewatch Fallout again, and hopefully con my wife into watching it. As well. It's like, hey, it's good. It's got Kyle MacLachlan in it. The guy from Sex and the City. Yeah, there's a reference. Yeah,
that's how I get you in.
Oh, the bad guy from the live action Flintstones movie. Yeah, him. There you go.
That guy. Yes, Kyle MacLachlan. I always forget he's in the live action Flintstones. My God. All right. Well, shall we end it there? Yeah. Cool. So those are our thoughts on your friendly neighborhood Spiderman episodes 4, 3 through 5. 3 through 5.
3 through 5.
2 through 5.
3 to 5.
3 to 5. Secret Identity Crisis, Hitting the Big Time, and Unicorn Unleashed.
And next week,
Next week we do 3 more.
6 to 8.
Next week we do 6 to 8, which, according to IMDb, are pretty well rated. At least the next 2 we're hitting the 8 out of 10s. So
Don't read anything too into it.
I'm not. Look, I'm just skimming.
Don't even read the title.
I'm not. Don't even look at the title, man. Don't even do it.
I've closed it. It's gone.
It's gone. We're done.
Just open your Disney Plus and go. Okay, switch, click,
Play.
There,
Continue
switch.
watching.
Switch, click, play. Yes. All right. That's the pod. That's the show. We're done for another week.
Yep.
Out we go. 1, 2, 3.
And that
was a podcast.
Was a podcast called Fred.
Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky for the latest Fred content.
If you'd like to listen to Fred the Alien, you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts.
If you'd like to watch Fred the Alien, you can head over to youtube.com/Fred the Alien Productions. And if you're watching us right now, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of future content. And if you're watching us live over on Twitch, make sure to give us a follow on the way out. Twitch.tv/Fred the Alien Twitch.
Yes, I've been a Kendall Richardson.
I've been a Fulya and
And I've been the Spider-Man with a cape himself, Michael Lister.
No capes.
I've decided I'm going to wear a cape. Capes for me.
And you just experienced a podcast called Fred.
Sean.
Remember to eat beef.
Remember, Freddy lives, Loki dies, the Doctor is in, and there's no time for Firefly. I'm keeping it. Just so I can trigger you on the way out.
And that's where I say, remember to look after yourself and your mental health, everyone.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, laters, gators. And
see.
see.
Shine.